What's up, guys? Hey, YouTube. I'm home for 2 days before my next trip continues. Thank you guys for watching as always. This is a deck I played at Sacramento Regionals. It's called Choo Choo Zard because of the precious Trolley A spec, a new card that allows you to fill your bench with as many basic Pokemon as you'd like and then shuffle your deck as an item. So, the logic is you can basically set your board on turn one if you get to go second with Arven, and you basically make a pretty cool board. And, Zard, if it sets up, it wins a lot of games. So the reason I chose to play Charizard, I know you guys are like, wow, Rahul, you finally switched off of Lugia, is because new format, I was really scared of Pikachu and Miraidon. I think I was right to be scared of Miraidon. It did win and get second. But Pikachu and Lost Box really spooked me out, and I didn't have a lot of time to play Pokemon in between LAIC and Sacramento. I was doing a lot of Friendsgiving stuff. I was staying with some friends. So the process, I just didn't play any Pokemon and didn't test it all. So new set rolls around. I get there on Friday evening, and everyone's pretty much locked on their decks already, and no one has anything like crazy for me, I guess. And so I'm talking to Lucas, who couldn't make it, and Lucas is pitching me on the Zard deck. He's like, yo, the Zard deck's really good. You have Dusknoir lines for these matchups to like basically just do a lot of shenanigans. You have the Rotom Luminian, like you have all these packages. You play Manaphy so you don't get blown out by Lost Box. Your Lost Box matchup's really good. Your Miraidon matchup's really good. You have Briar, you have Thornton, you can make funny plays. Trolley lets you go blind second opt and just load up your board. And the only thing I changed from the list that Lucas sent me is I cut the 6th Fire for a rescue board, because in logic I was thinking you could go Arven for board Trolley and just go into Cleffa in certain matchups and just like draw some cards if you don't want to put Rotom down in those matchups. But in hindsight, I think board should have been better as like a third Iono or second Duskull even maybe. But all in all, I liked the list. It was really good. It was really consistent at doing what it's supposed to do until it wasn't. All the cards were really good. In general, here's the list. You guys can take more of a look at it, but I'm going to jump into the tournament report. So I did in day two. That is a spoiler here for you guys. I did finish 341st, I think it said on my page. Round one hit Jordan, who was playing Lost Box. And the matchup went as expected. Both games, Jordan kind of fizzled out on resources, trying to like get through my pieces. And Zard's a little bit too big for Pikachu to deal with in a lot of situations. So Lost Box has to just like dig and get pretty deep into the deck. And if I can hold my Ionos still pretty late, both games I was just able to kind of steal. Game 2 was against Aaron, who did make day 2 playing Snorlax. Game 1, Aaron made a couple of misplays. He like grabbed a tool off an Arven, didn't put it on the Rotom. So I was able to pop like a Dusknoir, or not Dusknoir, I was able to pop a Dusclops, counter catcher KO it. Make sure that no other Rotom hits the board. But unfortunately for me, Aaron did hit like some pretty good targets off Flute. But the game was super winnable for me. I just couldn't. Like, Dusknoir ended up being my exact last prize. So that was the exact damage I needed to basically close out the game, because Aaron didn't hit. He hit one recovery card, either Rod or Stretcher, but he didn't hit enough where it made a difference. I still had Thornton and Turo and stuff to keep making plays. And then game 2, it came down to a board state where Aaron had to push up the cornerstone and just say, you don't have Cologne. And I ended up prizing Cologne as my final 2. So it ended up being 2-0 in Aaron's favor in turns. Had I taken that game, we would have been a tie, and I would have been able to, put at least a match point on the board. So a little bit upset about that loss. Like, I was pretty heated. Not heated, but, like, frustrated, I guess, because, like, I think I played that really well, and my deck used all the outs it was supposed to use in the Snorlax matchup. The Cologne, the Rods, the being able to change Dusknoir over and over again, but I just wasn't able to get that win, or even a match point, which is pretty upsetting. Round 3, I hit Irvin, who I believe was, I don't remember what Irvin was, actually, low-key. I think it was Raging Bolt. And I just kind of set up really well, and they had a tough time playing the game. Not having Vacuum was kind of spooky, I think, in this matchup, but it ended up working out in my favor, and I just ended up winning, I think. I actually don't remember what happened in this round. I'm so sorry, Irving. Round 4, I hit Jorge, which I knew was a mirror. But Jorge played some really cool cards. Like, he played a Monkey Dory and a Dark Energy and Entei, V, and stuff like that, and Basin. So I knew that he was missing some cards. So I basically both games just went for like Briar plays and closed out the game doing that, because I was like, well, Jorge doesn't have these pieces. And one turn he hit into me for 300, and he was at 3 prize cards and I was at 2. Or, yeah. And so if I hit into him, he would be able to Monkey Dory and take the knockout. But I sussed it out, and I just went instant charge for 3, which just gave me the boss for game the next turn. So I played that really well, I think, also, and I get to 3-1. Round 5, I hit Dean. A buddy of mine, he's playing Block Lax as well, but he's playing the version with no Rotom, so it's a lot tougher for me. And both games, Dean ends up hitting, like, the game one I open a bad Pokemon, which makes the game really tough for me, because he hits a Radzard and Manaphy off Flute, makes the game really tough. Game 2, I open Charmander, but have to bench Lumineon to play the game, because this starts really good. And turn 2, he MF Sisters, hits, like, Rod Cologne, and then Aries and hits, like, Candy and something else important. And so I'm already on the back foot the entire game. And I think Dusk Clops was prized, making it really hard for me to like chain the Dusk Snores over and over again. Because the idea is like if I can go Dusk Clops at least, I can chain those and pop it and then just rod them back in and eventually get to a position where Radzard can attack for super cheap, or I can just use Briar and just start swinging. I never got to that position. Dean was able to get everything he needed. I was looking for Collapse for a really long time and I just couldn't find it. And I never got Pidgeot set up in either game against Dean. So 2 lax losses. I'm pretty upset with the way things are going. I hit Eric in the next round. He's playing Miraidon. Should be a good matchup for me. Game 1, I open Lumineon, and I just get blown up to Kingdom Come. Game 2, I win. Game 3, it comes into a really tight stalemate situation where I take a knockout, and I own Eric to low. And Eric has to get Ursaluna, Energy, Boss, and a switching effect all on board. And I don't think he had Latias on board. So he ends up going, he had Mew and Fett. So he did have a lot of cards. So he went Nest Ball, attach to Ursaluna, Boss, and then draw 3 off the Mew, draw 3 off the Fez, hit the switch effect, the switch card, I believe, and then that ended the game. And I couldn't move the Rotom. Like, I was like 1 turn short of moving the Rotom every single time. I think I was digging for the Collapse over and over again, but I just couldn't get to a position where I could get to the Collapse. And again, I couldn't get Pidgeot established in these games. Because Eric takes the first 2 and then Pidgeot becomes a liability. So at 3-3, I'm knocked out of the tournament in what should have been a favorable matchup. So I'm pretty upset with how things have gone. Could have gone better. Should have gone better. Maybe it's me playing poorly. Who knows? Then I hit Alvaro, who's playing Bolt. And both games, Alvaro, like, turbo bricks. Like, it's, like, really bad. Like, I'm just, like, swinging, and he's, like, not even roaring. So I end up winning the set against Alvaro. And then the final round is Jacob, who is playing Reggie Drago. Game 1, I end up winning on a hair's breadth because Jacob ends up running out of resources. Game 2, I just lose because Jacob gets a super good start early. Turn 2, Dragapult attack. Takes out a Pidgey, takes out something else. Game 3, I get off to a pretty hot start. Jacob matches. But then at some point, I notice all 4 E-Switch are gone. The V-Star's been used. Prime is gone. Like, so many resources are gone. So I just take it slow and knock out the small threats. And then once the energy was gone, Jacob had no way of closing out the game. He had like 3 prizes remaining at the end. Just couldn't close it out. That's really the only way you really win the matchup is Zard. Like, you have to hope they blow early V-Star, because if they don't, the Ogerpon is such an annoying card for Charizard. Do I regret playing Charizard? A little bit. My gut did tell me to play this deck. I think it was a good call in general, but the execution came out pretty poorly. With that being said, I am still happy, I guess, I played the deck. I was pretty hot when I did bad, and you guys will see that in the vlog. But emotions are emotions. Tournaments do happen, and I do have a bad run. I've had a couple of bad runs in a row now. 4 to be exact. Losing back-to-back win-ins to money at LAIC was also pretty frustrating. Don't really know what to say. I've just been disappointing. Playing really poorly, I guess. I don't think I'm playing too poorly, actually, but like, I'm doing bad, so I apologize. And I will do my best to come back to form. I've got 3 more tournaments until the holidays. So please keep cheering me on. Please keep doing what you guys are doing, and then I'll let you guys know how it goes. Thank you as always for your support.